What's up, everybody? So recently I had some students ask me, Umair, you've got all of these different real estate investing deals going on. You're doing land development, you're doing mobile home parks, you are helping us. You have money going in one account, money going out of another account. How do you possibly keep up with your finances? And today, I want to give you guys some insight on how to automate your finances, how to set up your bank accounts, and how to make your financial life easier. Okay. There's a couple of things that I want you guys to write down as you get started. Number one is I want you to look into and read the book Profit First by Michael Michalowicz. Okay. I read that book a number of years ago. And I was like, it sounds good, but now how do I actually apply this? And so it took me a while, and I want to save you guys hundreds of hours of thought and time. Number two is write down Sequence. Sequence is an app that I've leveraged to figure out how to have money move without me thinking about it. And it's been life-changing for my different businesses, for growth, for scale, all of the above. So today I'm going to give you an overview of my personal account and of how I've set up my current automations. And I'd love your feedback if you guys are automating your finances, how you're setting your things up. But I think as an entrepreneur, it's important for us to share with each other because that's where creativity and expansion and growth of new ideas happen. So check it out, guys. Share my screen here. And I did have it pulled up. All right, so I'm going to break this down. If you're brand new, be patient with yourself when understanding this. But a high level overview of what the Profit First book teaches is you've got different accounts. Now, this is the Sequence app. And let me break this down. So every inside of Sequence, there's what we call pods, and then you can create accounts. All right. Now, this is a pod for my South Carolina real estate investing rental portfolio. Okay. So when money comes in through tenants, through mortgage notes, through whatever happens in South Carolina, money comes into this pod here. Okay. Now, from this pod, there are a couple of different buckets that money automatically gets allocated to. There is my owner's pay, because when I'm working a business, I want to make sure that I'm paying myself personally where I can take that money and spend it on whatever I want. Then there is my profit bucket. Now, the profit bucket is not my personal profit, it's my business's profit. Because every year I want to show that I have a profitable business for a variety of reasons. Now, the next bucket that you're going to want to set up is your operational expense bucket. So this is your operating account. Things like paying your debt service, paying when handymen need to come and do things here and there on my properties, paying your handyman, paying for materials, things of that nature. So you got your operating expense account. And if you've taken any of my mobile home park training or multifamily training, you know I'm usually around a 30 to 40% operating expense ratio. So I already know that 30 or 40% of my revenue is going to go to operating expenses. Then we have taxes and insurance with all of our properties every year, a constant. I know I'm going to pay taxes and insurance. So instead of at the end of the year, like, oh my God, I don't have money. What do I do? We've automated this process where when revenue comes in, a portion of it automatically gets put into this taxes and insurance account. Now, if you're running a real estate business, it's important to have money set aside for repairs, vacancy, and turnover. Tenants come and go. Now, you guys know I try not to do so many rentals. I prefer to hold the mortgage note and help other people have ownership. So I don't usually worry about repairs, vacancies, and turnovers, but I still have a portion of my portfolio that I keep as rentals. Okay. And then last and finally, I've got my security deposits account. So, guys, when I click on this, you're going to see, well, every pod has a separate account and routing number. And I have rules. So for each one of these pods, a certain percentage goes into those pods automatically without me thinking about it. I'm always prepared for taxes and it's like a fresh of breath air. So guys, I've done this with every single business that I am currently running. Now you're going to see this is my front line of defense is what I like to call it. These are my accounts that money gets automatically put into. And then the boxes in orange are my liability accounts, my credit cards, my lines of credit, things I leverage to grow the business or if needed. So I've got these different liabilities accounts, and you can set it up to where you're automatically paying your liabilities. Bye, honey. Bye. You could set it up. My baby girl came in to say bye. You can set it up to where you're automatically paying your liabilities. But I have those there because most of them are empty. So let me take you guys to the next business. Okay. Last year I started so I started in South Carolina. You guys know I'm in Virginia, but I started to go to Georgia. So same thing happened when I expanded into the Georgia market. I set up a pod and I've got these different buckets. Here they go again. You got your owner's pay. Got to make sure you're paying yourself for the work that you do in your business, right? You can't just be a slave to the business. You've got your profit account, the business's profit. I've got my operating expense account, so I'm paying for operating the actual business. Now, I've got a security deposits account here. I had one down on the other one that I didn't talk about. I've got my taxes and insurance, repairs, vacancy, and escrow. All right, so this is my second business, and it's just seamlessly tenants are paying, people who are buying properties from me on a mortgage note, they're paying, and it's automatically being allocated. All right. Now I'm going to talk about my wealth router account, but let me touch on my last account here. Business account, anyways. This is my S corporation. So when I do speaking events, when I do coaching for those of you that want to get coaching on how to get started, what to do, day-to-day interactions on actually getting things done. My students, they pay into this pod here. Or if I'm doing a fix and flip, or if I'm doing a wholesale deal. A lot. So let me digress. There are two types of income. There's operational income and there's passive income. Well, there's actually other types of income, but those are your two types of income. Now, when I'm making operational income, when it's not investment income or passive income, because guys, those are taxed differently, all of my operational income comes into my S corporation. Okay. Then I've got these pods, same pods, except these are a little bit different here. I've got my owner's pay pod. I've got my tax savings account, my profit account, and then I've added a debt pay down slash savings pod. And then I've got my operating account. So this is my setup for every single business I have, guys. And then you'll see some liability accounts here. Now, this is where things got really sexy for me, right? I've got my owner's pay accounts. And then here is my account for like my wife and my baby and just family stuff, like buying stuff for the family. So I can allocate how much, we need to live off of. And that's super important. You can't just spend money because then you're gonna fall into the paycheck to paycheck trap, right? So I've got money allocated for what we're gonna spend. But the best part about this, guys, is all of my businesses, they funnel into what I call my wealth router account. Now, I'm building wealth with my assets and my real estate and all of the different things like life insurance policies that develop a cash value and 401ks and IRAs. You'll see I'm automatically contributing I've got what we call a solo 401k with checkbook control, where I'm allowed to buy real estate, cryptocurrencies, gold, art, all of the above. But in addition to my 401k, we've got those life insurance policies that we leverage, and I love life insurance. I've got to make a training on how I use and leverage insurance policies. But all of those funds I have set up to go into my wealth router account. And funds that I have left over, I play in the stock market. I play, right? Because I look at the stock market as glorified gambling, right? And I know the smarter you are, the more knowledge you have, the less likely you are to lose because you really understand how to play the game. And but most of my money that goes into my E-Trade growth bucket, I'm investing into dividend stocks, high-end growth funds, um, and blue chip stocks. So this is my account that I'm taking money and I'm moving cash into that. So I've got different buckets available for me to pull from as needed, and I run a very organized, automated, systematic approach to paying myself, building my businesses, and continuing to be able to grow and expand without having to guess. Now, I've trained my virtual assistant and my bookkeeper. I've had some issues finding an amazing CPA. You know, CPAs are like contractors when you're working on fix and flips. Either they're great, they're mediocre, or they just stink. So this is where I'm at. I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope it helps you guys, I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but Sequence has been a life changer, has been a game changer for me in my business, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, me and another partner of mine, we just opened up another LLC called Deluxe Housing Group. See, I can live. Now, we just opened up this business bank account. And what this business we believe is going to focus on is providing these co-living spaces. People are living together, whether they're older or they're younger. A lot of people aren't having kids. So we just bought a 6 bedroom, 3 bath property where we're gonna fix it up and we're gonna rent it by the room. I'm super excited about this. And I'll make some trainings on how this venture is going, the money it's bringing in, and how we're operating. Guys, this video has already gotten too long. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be sharing every Friday more on strategies, tips, techniques that I'm using here in 2025 to build our business. Wish you guys nothing but love and respect. Thanks for joining. Bye.